In this one here, we'll be simplifying special fraction forms. What do we mean by that? Well, this will help us simplify 4 special fraction forms. There are 4 of them. So let me write the number here, 4. Okay? Our first special fraction will be as follows. Fractions that have, so I'm going to just write it, has a fraction that have the same numerator and denominator. So we're going to be working first of all with fractions that have both the numerator and the denominator. In other words, numerator is equal to the denominator. So you can see here that numerator equals the denominator. That is what we can say in that in summary. Okay, so in this case we have numbers divided by itself. In other words, the number being the top piece, the numerator, and the denominator, both of them are the same, so they are being divided by itself. The result will be 1, provided that both the numerator and the denominator are 1 and not 0. But we can say provided both numerator and denominator are not 0. That's the key point. Okay, so examples like this will be, if I have 7 over 7, that will give me 1. If I have negative 10 over negative 10, that is going to give me 1. The negative divided by a negative will give me a positive, so that's positive 1. If we have negative 1000 over negative 1000, that is still 1. Okay, that is what we mean by fractions that have the same numerator and denominator. Okay, then we have fractions that have a denominator of 1. So the next one right here, fractions that have a denominator of 1. Okay, what can we say about these fractions? In this case, we can say that a number divided by 1, in other words, any number will be divided by 1. This is what this is saying. The result is simply the numerator. So let's see, 9 over 1 will give us 9. Negative 10 over 1 will give us negative 10. Alright, so in this case here, we end up with this. So in other words, we can say that we have divided by 1. Whenever we divide any number by 1, the result is simply the numerator. Any number divided by 1 is the value of the numerator. That's what it means. Okay, so that's the second type of special fraction. Let's go to the third one. The third one says fractions that have a numerator of 0. Fractions that have a numerator of 0. What can we say about that? It's just that we divide of 0. We have a division of 0, in other words. Okay, the result will be 0. So if we have 0 divided by 10, that is 0. 0 divided by negative 10, that is still 0. 0 divided by 1, it is still 0. Okay, that's what that means. The numerator of 0. That's the third special fraction. Let's go to the fourth one. Fractions that have a denominator of 0, different from this one here. Okay, this is the numerator, this is the denominator. So we can say that we have division by 0 now. This is division, okay, of 0, and this division by 0. So division of 0, and this one here, let me write it here in write as in red. Division of 0, this is division by 0. What's the difference? Well, if we have 10 divided by 0, that will say undefined. You use that in your calculators, you will get undefined, error, or syntax error. If you have a negative 10 also divided by 0, you will also get undefined. In other words, any number divided by 0 is always undefined. You will not get a value. Alright? So that's the main point here. Now, what then happens if we have a fraction of the form 0 over 0? Well, it is said to be undetermined, in other words. Okay? This form is important in advanced mathematics courses, so for our purposes, we will not be dealing with that much. So let me just give you this, a hint. And keep this in mind. Who knows, I might just decide to give you this as a bonus. Fraction of the form 0 divided by 0 is undetermined. Okay? This is more for advanced math, so you don't have to worry about this in this course here. Okay? Now, let us go with a few examples. Examples are simplify if possible, or where possible. Okay, so if I give you a number 9 over 9, that is equals to 1. Let's zoom in there a little bit more because we are having maths class. And then if we have the second example where we have 100 divided by 1, that will give us 100. You know what? Let me use red here so you guys can see the difference as a solution. Solution here of 1. See, now we have 100 divided by 0, that will give us, what is that? Undetermined or undefined. I mean undefined. Okay, sorry about that. The word is supposed to be undefined. And D, let's have 0 divided by 100, that will give us 0. So that is good. So note the difference. 0 divided by 100 is 0. 100 divided by 0 is undefined. So those are the four main things on the special fraction forms